What up, what up, what up, what up? Sports 56 grind time. Peter Emerson, Anthony Sain. It was a pretty cold cutout on the music. I'm here. We are here at the Family Leisure Studios, high on top of Mount Moriah. Peter Emerson is here in the spirit. I'm looking at Peter. I don't hear Peter.
And that's why you had the hard cut on the music. Very rarely do y'all not start talking.
Yeah. I'm looking at Peter. Not sure why we don't hear him. But
hold on, let me let him know. Hold on.
He is here in the spirit.
Go
he
for
knows. He knows he's not on, I'm sure.
Okay.
But yeah, we are here.
He's talking.
Yeah, it's good. We'll figure that out. But while we're figuring that out, shout out to Peter Emerson, who is I'm looking at him on the screen, but he's not here with us. Darian Newsom is across from us on the glass. We're here at the Family Leisure Studios for Sports 56 Grind Time. We do this every day, Monday through Friday, from 1 to 3 p.m. here, high on top of Mount Moriah in the Family Leisure Studios. You can give us a call at 901-360-8255.
Check. Hello.
There he is. I'm gonna finish this
Now I
intro.
can hear
No,
myself.
I'm finishing this intro.
There we go. You got me now? All
Yep, I'm finishing this intro, bro.
right, finish it up. You
can call us on the AutoZone listen line, 901-360-8255. There you go. You can text us on that same very number. You can watch us on YouTube, Facebook,
Yep.
Instagram,
Yep.
Twitter, Twitch, amongst other things. Probably twerk.com.
MTV
The
Europe.
metaverse.
No, not the metaverse.
You can look at us on the metaverse and actually be in the studio with us.
Yeah, you can join us on Napster, on LimeWire,
All that.
on YouTube, on Real Player, on the
Real Player.
Winamp.
It's a real place. Seen that in forever.
You can hit us up on all those things. I'm glad we finally got everything squared away. Happy President's Day, Anthony Sain. What do you do on President's Day? What's a big you watch all the presidential documentaries? Do you sit and think about all the presidents? Do you go to the Hall of Presidents down in Disney World? How do you celebrate President's Day?
I don't at all.
Okay, good. 360-8255. How do you celebrate President's Day? Does anyone celebrate President's Day?
You don't walk around like you're Obama at home?
No.
Oh, I would have betted that. Yes.
I enjoy my off day.
How does one walk around? How does one walk around as if they are Obama?
You walk around like you're El Presidente. Hey, hello, Gabe. Get up, Gabe. I am.
No. Do none of that.
Gabe?
Get your presidential voice on.
Yeah, we've the presidential situation. I mean, hey, man, hey, it's just what's going on, man. It's where it is. It's what's happening. We had some presidents. We've certainly had some. We've had some good ones, and we've had some not so good ones as a country. We celebrate the presidents, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure what you do on President's Day.
I know 25% off on every furniture place in America, so go get you some furniture, I guess.
Do you know, like, how do you celebrate presidents? Do you sort of, you say, like, hey, way to go.
Barbecue.
Way to go, guys.
I don't know.
Nice job. Way to president. Way to lead the country, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, we're all celebrating that to the extent that we can celebrate it. Also, we are going to talk about some. What was a big weekend for the city of Memphis up in Cleveland in the All-Star game, although not as big as it probably should have been.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, for a number of reasons. We'll talk about that. Craziness in college basketball. And no, I'm not talking about the Tigers getting blown out in the second half of that game against SMU. We are going to discuss that, of course. But I'm talking about Michigan and Wisconsin. Juwan Howard getting in a fight. Juwan Howard throwing a punch.
Stop.
At a Wisconsin assistant coach. Oh, man, this is wild. This was a wild,
you
wild
got the TV
scene.
audio of it. This overblown crap these folks are just.
Hadouken!
Stop.
There you go. That was Jaren Jackson's new song, by the way. New track.
You got the audio of the actual fight, though? When the guy was like, oh, my God, Juwan Howard threw a punch. I'm like, man, get out
I
of
can already
here.
tell me and you are going to disagree on this
Oh,
one.
yeah, we definitely are, man.
Okay. All right. Well, good.
Hey, you know where I'm going to take it to, too.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, you can if you want to. That's fine. But I think this one is a little more.
You thought that was a big deal
more,
for real? Though?
Yeah, absolutely.
I heard Eli
show me
talking this morning.
give me the other time that a coach has ever done.
It
that.
don't matter. Sometimes you need to slap. You need to slap an MF, man. That's for real. Like it's sometimes life situations happen where you just gotta slap somebody.
No. That's wrong.
So you saying we ain't never seen this before?
I'm
Are we talking about this now? Are we setting this up for later on?
We set it for later. I don't want to.
But we'll talk about it later on.
But now start thinking about when have you ever seen a head coach ever do that?
That ain't the first time I've ever seen it. I've seen worse from coaches.
Okay,
We'll talk about it.
In a college level. Be sure to. I'm curious. I'd like to find out.
What you think should happen? They should throw the book at him. Shouldn't
I don't remember anything like that ever happening. So.
I remember a much wilder scene I've seen before, but we'll talk about it. Oh, what short memory y'all have. Hey, man, sometimes you need to slap somebody, bro. I mean, it's being real.
No.
You never felt the need to just have to slap somebody?
That's the different feeling the need is different than doing it. I felt the need to do lots of things that.
Bro, there was so many
do
violations in that scene. I watched that video a few times. You know, I slept on it and came back and watched it again. There were so many situations where somebody needed to get slapped in that video, and it happened. We'll get to it. It's on the docket.
It's on the docket, indeed. So you can join us as well.
I know one thing. Be late again coming on the show for whatever reason.
I wasn't late. I was on time.
Yeah, you
can
was on
talk
time.
to.
I might slap Darren. I might just go over and slap Darren.
You can talk to the technical department on this one. I opened up the show as normal. Only whoever was.
It was still in weekend mode. We hadn't flipped over to I guess live.
Yeah,
it ain't been in the weekend mode all weekend. Yeah. See somebody trying to sabotage the show. I'm finna slap somebody
on President's Day.
Where's John Hooter? Now what's his name? John Morgan.
He's gonna call in. You know he listens.
To slap that man.
Yeah. No,
Put something else in weekend mode, John Morgan.
I'm just saying, man. Look, I did my intro. It was great. Dog heard it. Loved it. It was great. So
you didn't even know you weren't on?
No, I can't tell.
Oh.
Sounds the same to me.
You're
Except
right.
I noticed when you weren't responding at all, and I specifically said, "Hey, Anthony Sain, how you doing?" And you just sat there, and I was like, "Well, you either ignore me or I'm not on the air. One of the two."
You're right.
I quickly figured out which one it was. So, yeah, I was on time. It ain't my fault. I was ready to roll. Now, all right. So, that being said, let's talk about last night, All-Star game here in the Family Leisure Studios. John Morant started and had, two of the most spectacular plays in the game in the first quarter when he caught a lob from Trae Young that was not even intended for him, I don't think, and still slammed it down, which I think that was basically what Ja was going to have to do all game, because I don't think Ja was going to get many passes thrown to him. It did not appear. And he had a couple of spectacular, he had a reverse alley-oop, had a 360 alley-oop, tried a windmill left-hand tomahawk, which would have been, something, 360 windmill left-hand tomahawk, couldn't quite pull it off. But that was pretty much it for Ja. And in fact, he did not play the final part of the game. Checked out midway through the third quarter and did not play in the fourth quarter, which was the Elam ending shortened fourth quarter that you only play 24 points, which I like the Elam ending in the All-Star game. And I do think they should use it as the overtime, not in a regular season in a regular game, but not as a fourth quarter or anything like that, but I think it should be the new overtime, 1st to 10 in an Elam ending. Boom, there you go.
That would be pretty dope.
That just kind of makes it so much more tense and so much more, fired up, and it keeps these games from going into these like triple, quadruple, quintuple, crazy, stuff when guys just get exhausted. Like, no, this is not that. But as far as
do that in the NFL, 1st to 10.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of like just these wars of attrition where teams play for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
7 overtimes in college, 8 overtimes. No, that's why we had the tie. I mean, sometimes teams are just the same. Sometimes one team is the same as the other. That's okay. It's okay to not be. It's not force a winner. But if you're going to, you can have that Elam ending. Makes it a lot easier. But Ja Morant didn't play in any of that fourth quarter. Now, Anthony Sain, do you think was that injury related? Did Ja check out? He didn't seem like he was particularly involved in the game. Wasn't really a huge part of it when he was in there. Do you think his ankle was still somewhat bothering him and he was kind of going light? Or do you think this is a conspiracy to hold back Ja Morant and Eric Spoelstra's playing LaMelo Ball instead of Ja?
You saw what was going on in the game, man. Don't act like you didn't see the same thing I saw. I saw this before many years ago in an All-Star game. Michael Jordan was getting all the rave, and the torch was getting passed away from the older guys to this young up-and-coming Michael Jordan, and they did the same thing. Guys decided, all right, enough of this kid. You saw it. You saw the same thing I saw. And we saw LaMelo Ball weird ass out there the whole game.
Yeah, but LaMelo Ball's younger than Ja. Why is he out there?
Because he ain't getting that buzz like Ja getting. LaMelo Ball, sorry team, ain't no threat to nothing. They'll let him come out there and throw his little weird passes with his little weird red shoes on. Who cares? Go get a haircut. You saw they were hating on Ja, bro. You saw it. Come on now.
It was hard to tell. Like I don't know. I can see it both ways, but them hating on Ja has nothing to do with not playing him. Like, that's Spoelstra. Like, why would you not put him back in the game?
Because he's hating on him.
My thing is, like, you don't want to see LaMelo Ball was Jarrett Allen's a last minute replacement. I know they're in Cleveland. Why are they playing? Like, why would you play the guys that were voted in?
Did Ja look like he was hurt when he was jumping over the rim, over the backboard?
No, but you know how it is, man. You can load up one or two big jumps and then kind of just and still be somewhat hurt, not be 100%. He could load up on some big moves and then kind of take it easy the rest of the game. He was if you watch that rest of the game, like he was, even by the standards of the All-Star game, he was taking it extra easy. He wasn't trying to get involved. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if his ankle was a little bit dinged up. And he's able to, he's able to bounce on a couple times, but he doesn't want to go. That wouldn't shock me. That wouldn't shock me.
I lean towards the hate.
But by the same token, I don't know. Just like I said, you go back and watch it. He just wasn't. It was weird when he was in there because he didn't seem like he was even really. He wasn't part of it, but he wasn't even really, to me, pushing to be part of it. He was just kind of.
Maybe he caught the vibes, man. Maybe he caught the energy like they about to hate on me.
I think he caught the energy Friday. I think he caught the energy Friday in that he was clearly having a great time. He had a great weekend regardless. So I didn't.
If he had a good time, that's all I really care about, man. That kid
exactly. I don't begrudge it. Who it doesn't. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Steph Curry was the star of the show.
Yeah, Steph lost.
Steph Curry. Well, that was incredible. That was so much fun to watch. This man out here shooting from 35 and turning around and going down before the ball even hits the net, and that was crazy, phenomenal. Now, what I don't want to see is Andrew Wiggins taking a three. Who cares? but Steph Curry, like I said, every shot should be a Ja Morant dunk or a Steph Curry three. That's pretty much right. That's really all the people came to see.
When I saw Ja on, I guess that was Friday night. No, when I saw him, media day, Saturday morning. When was it? Whenever. When I saw Ja at media day with the full grill in his mouth, I said, "This kid's just having fun, man. Like, I've seen enough." You know what I mean? Like. It's when you would get reminded of how humble the beginnings of his story was and his dad's sacrifice to put Ja first and put his career to the side, and just to have it, small school, small high school, small town, unranked and all those type of things, to see where he is now, like, man, all the fun that kid had publicly in front of our eyes on social media, man, it's just amazing, bro. His whole story just gets greater and greater, and just extremely happy for him, man. To see Allen Iverson, dub him Mr. Real Deal and all those type of things. Yeah, man, it's all good. They were hating on him though. Just to answer your question, anybody can see that. Ja does a lot of unlikable stuff, man. Like, let's keep that in mind, bro. Like, showing people up the way he does and running off at the mouth like this entire team does. A lot of people feel the way about the Grizzlies, bro, for sure.
Well, I mean that's interesting, and I don't know if that's true or not. I'm getting an echo, by the way, here, Darian. I don't know what's going on. If you can.
Oh my God, what's wrong?
It's very. I'm hearing like myself like right after it's very loud in my own ear. It's very
Sure.
strange. But anyway, the whole situation is just. I mean, I think there's definitely some truth to what you're saying. Like, I definitely think there's some tension amongst some. I think most guys understand the entertainment aspect of it. I think most guys understand the way the game is played. You heard like Giannis was like really going off on I thought I think DeMichael Cole from the CA asked a great question about the situation and what Giannis, who I think is a great person to ask. I mean, Giannis came from an incredible difficult background. His family immigrating from Nigeria to Greece. He's out here selling stuff on the streets of Athens and ends up as one of the biggest stars in the world
Of all time.
And he's doing it in Milwaukee, of all places. Like, who better to ask about a guy coming from meager upbringings in a small market to all that? He's the perfect guy. And his answer was great. He said, Ja's awesome. He said he's crazy good what he's done. He said there's no reason why he can't do it in Memphis. I think it's awesome. I think it's a great challenge. And everything he said was spot on. I think he gets it. Giannis is super competitive. When you watch him in the All-Star game, he's the only dude that goes in there and rebounds and actually like goes after
Plays
dudes.
basketball.
And he plays
Because he
basketball.
don't know about
for
all
real.
this other stuff, man. All he knows
Exactly.
about is
So
just
that's why
playing
the
basketball
Ja's
to make
normally
it.
and see Ja. That's the thing with Ja is like when he plays. I think we all thought it would be more of a spectacular show from Ja, but I think we also have to remember that Ja, he generates his intensity from hate. He generates his intensity from competition, and there's no competition in that game. His moves, his dunks are ferocious because they are competed against. They are.
The goal's not high enough.
Exactly. Thank you, Joe. People. He has something to fight against. And in the All-Star game, he's just kind of goofing around out there. To me, I don't think that really rings his bell. I think he gets real jacked up about that. But the fact that he gets to go and be part of things and be part of the introduction and be the first guy that talks after the NBA 75 ceremony, which was really cool.
Yep.
Obviously, the NBA has big. He was part of that huge video tribute that they did. He was like the last guy in the video tribute. They showed his two-hand block again. Like the NBA's clearly got big plans for Ja, which is the most important thing.
I'm gonna tell you when I knew what kind of night it was gonna be. I'll actually go back to a week ago when they did the team drafting or whatever, and I saw that Ja and Trey were on the same team in the starting lineup. When you got two point guards in your backcourt, I said, okay, let me see how the game starts off. That'll let me know what kind of game Ja's gonna have. And when I saw Trae Young on the ball, I was like, yeah, Ja's not gonna have that good of a game because he's not gonna have. If Trae Young's got the ball, if he's actually playing point guard and Ja's off the ball, which didn't make any sense either. I knew what kind of night it was gonna be, but like you said, it don't really matter, man. It's an All-Star game. He had the time of his life, which does matter. So, and he'll have many more of these to come. So, it's all good. The All-Star weekend to me was pretty cool. Like the whole thing was in general was pretty cool. I'm a big fan of.
Well, I thought. I mean, yeah, the vibe of it is great. The whole vibe of it.
A lot of individual events
the game itself.
I can pinpoint out, but yeah.
But the game itself generally sucks, except for the ends of quarters, and the fourth quarter is really good with the Elam ending. The game itself is just like whatever. The All-Star Saturday night, oh my God, the dunk contest. I can't believe y'all wanted John Moran in this filth, nasty, disgusting.
He could have revived it, man.
No, he can't revive. You can't revive a corpse. That sucker is dead in the ground. Nothing you can do. He's not a magician like that. I told you my idea the other day, and I think people love it.
I got another idea.
In fact, I saw some people biting it, but that's fine. I've had it for multiple years, so y'all can steal it. I saw some national people try to take it.
Oh, you about to say somebody locally was saying about it. Call their name.
No. Locally, everybody knows, but nationally, I saw some people trying to take it.
Who? Throw it out.
I got that idea
there.
first. I don't even remember now, but
you scared of something? You scared to approach some of these nerds, Peter? I ain't gonna. I see you. You be scared to call out the forefathers of this nerd game.
Give me an example, because I've already approached them privately all. So you gotta understand. I don't do a lot of this business publicly. There was one particular time I'm not going to discuss the details of it on the air, but I will. I lobbed a private phone call to one individual.
Ooh, it was a phone call. That man did not say DM. That man said phone call.
Yeah, I called. specifically
Yeah.
to explain the situation,
Bam.
and we
Yeah.
didn't, and we didn't have any issues from that point on.
Who it was? DM me who you talking about.
You know him well.
That's what I'm saying. Let me know who you talking about. Not on the air, but just tell me.
You
Later
know him
on.
well.
Okay. That's what I'm about. Dress these folks, man. Like I said, sometimes you need to slap them. You know what I'm saying? We just talked about this.
It was a verbal. It was a verbal. It was a
Verbal
private
slap,
verbal
yeah.
slap, not an actual slap.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but my new idea, I think is even better.
I got one too. Come on.
We forget the dunk contest on Saturday night. Just forget it. Gone. Wipe it off. The dunk contest now is in the All-Star game itself. Every dunk in the All-Star game is a competitor in the dunk contest.
Okay.
Each dunk, whenever somebody dunks in the All-Star game, it is judged, and the best dunk in the game
Gets an award.
wins. So you got, that could be a competed dunk because that could be in the game itself, or it could be a non-competitive dunk. It could be an alley-oop. It could be a windmill. It could be whatever you want it to be, but it's within the flow of the game.
I got you.
And it makes the game now all of a sudden, you know, whenever somebody dunks, you got people on the side kind of holding up it adds some extra spice to these parts of the game that are mostly just non-defense and whatever. Everybody who's in it, because Ja's never going to be in the
No.
LeBron is never going to be in the dunk contest. Ever.
He's not getting out there with
Exactly. Nobody's ever going to be that. But now they are. They're all in the dunk contest. Everybody. Karl Anthony Towns had that windmill. Maybe he could have won the dunk contest and the three-point shootout.
Right.
Like, you know, throw it in there. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's a damn
I like
good
that.
idea.
I like
I'm
that,
just
bro.
gonna say that's a good
pretty
idea.
dope, man. I got one too. You tell me what you think about it. You ready?
Okay.
All right, we're in the era of technology. We saw a versus battle between Allen Iverson and Tracy McGrady where they played their highlights. You know what I'm saying? Instead of doing a live dunk contest, have guys put together a video montage of a collection of dunks that it can be as cinematic as you want to make it. Give guys as much time and creativity they want. They got a 45-second dunk package and them just going off. You just judge the best thing and you move on.
That'll leak. That'll leak.
Tell me to come out before.
Yeah,
it's
that'll
dead.
leak. That'll
Probably.
be on YouTube. Time
Well
and
before
stuff.
it-
Yeah, well before. Yeah, that'll leak.
But yeah, that's just something I thought about. And you know something else that'll fix the slam dunk contest? Get these hating ass commentators off of here, man. Them dudes are getting on my nerves so bad, bro. I'm like
Well, I
Kenneth
mean,
Smith.
it's,
I'm like Kenneth Smith. I remember you in the slam dunk contest. I'm 42 years old. I remember when you were garbage in the slam dunk contest. Oh, I seen all this. You've been doing this forever.
you're never going
Of
to,
course
there's
you have.
no, like, you're never,
Show me something.
you're going
Show
to
me
judge
something.
guys. This is like I have some sympathy because like nowadays, you know, the bar's been raised so high that like a 360 between the legs is like, yeah, it's okay. I've seen it before. Like that would have been, 15 years ago, that would have been like, oh my God, like just shut it down. It's over. It's over. It's over. Now it's like, oh, yeah, we've seen it before. You can't judge based on like, have you ever seen it before?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. Like, you don't judge a movie based on like, have you ever seen the plot
Right.
before? Yeah, I mean, like, oh yeah, okay, boy meets girl, whatever. Like, yeah, we've
I've
seen
seen
that
this
before.
before. How was it?
No, but
yeah,
how
carried
was
out?
it? Was it well presented? Was it well executed? Did it? There's all different ways to do it. I mean, ultimately, the dunk is just putting the ball through the rim. Like, okay, we've seen that before too. So I get I have some sympathy for those guys because the bar has been set at an impossible level. However, it's for that very reason that we should just forget the whole contest entirely. Just there's no point in even having it. They don't. Clearly, the judges are bored with it. The commentators are bored with it. The people in general are bored with it. Fold it into the game itself, so that everyone who is an all-star is also a de facto slam dunk participant.
Yep.
Every dunk in the game is now a slam dunk entrant. Have them vote in the middle of the game.
Who had the best dunk and give him a
We
chance.
keep it moving, and then at the end you have the dunk con. It's a great opportunity. And if you want, if Steph Curry decides he wants to try to dunk, he can't really dunk, but if he wants to try to dunk in the game, that's great. Maybe people give him, a fun slam dunk award because he dunked in a game. Like that'd be fun. That craziness from Ja. Ja's never going to degrade himself to be part of the slam dunk competition, and nor should he. That's a huge step down. He wins the slam dunk competition, so what? You join Obi Toppin and Hamidou Diallo and the legends of the game? What are you talking about? We're a long way from Jordan versus Dominique.
All it takes
Fold
is
it into
one,
the
man.
game.
It could be Ja versus Zion, man.
No, it doesn't matter. Zach LaVine won it. He's embarrassed to have won it.
Who?
Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine ain't embarrassed to win nothing, man.
He probably
that man's
hides
like
that
a multi-time competitor in the slam.
He probably hides that trophy. He's like, I don't even know. Was I in the? No, I don't know.
I let my kids play with this, man.
Don't tell anybody. I don't. Yeah, it's fake. It's fake. Because once he gets a real award, that's what he cares about right there. Exactly. All right, we'll come back. We're going to continue. I want to talk a little Tigers and SMU. We're going to talk. wasn't too many threes, unfortunately, in that game. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the situation with Michigan and Wisconsin. That was wild. I can see that me and Sain are going to get a little have a little disagreement on that one. We'll discuss that when we continue here. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5.
You have opinions?
What do you hear? What do you say?
We want to hear them. Call or text us on the AutoZone listener line at 360-8255. That's the AutoZone listener line at 901-360-8255.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with 2 of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Bellyacre's motto is City-Fied Farm Fresh. The goal is simple: provide a fun, unique farm-to-table experience for the whole family. 2 great locations, Regalia at 6130 Poplar and in Overton Square at 2102 Trimble Place. Overton Square hours Sunday through Thursday 11A to 9P, Friday and Saturday 11A to 10P. Regalia Sunday through Thursday 10:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 10:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Signature burgers are made from 100% grass-fed beef. Sandwiches, salads, and the best milkshakes anywhere. The burgers, so good, like the Daria or the Double Daria, and the melt in your mouth. And you have to try the Voodoo Moo Moo. It is the quality brand the Bellyacres team has developed using grass-fed beef with creative homemade toppings in a fun farm setting right here in the city. The goal at Bellyacres, to become even more sustainable as they grow. In Overton Square and in Regalia, the very best quality available in Memphis, burger shakes and smiles at Bellyacres.
Hey, Jeff Allen, the Kia President's Day sales event is sure to make all your customers happy at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah.
We are ready to make you smile. Check it out. 2022 Kia Forte LXS, we got it covered at $199 per month. And a 2022 Kia Soul LX, $219 a month. Both $27.99 due at signing.
Plus 2022 Kia Sorento LX, $308 a month, $34.99 due at signing, and all 36-month leases. And they all come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia Mount Moriah.
Ask for Jeff Allen, Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com. All 36-month leases, $650 acquisition fee, $30,000 per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte, NE 456,841, MSRP 21,090, Soul N78, 23,215, MSRP 21,515, Sorento, NG 104,027, MSRP 31,460. Includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, must finance through KMF, excludes tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/28/22, dealer stock only.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Now, back to Sports 56 Grind Time. Here once again are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sain.
Got Mayor Mike coming up in just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Got to talk Michigan, Wisconsin, and the slap/punch/whatever heard around the world. We'll talk about it.
We might be able to make y'all some money today too, man. I'm still trying to. Yeah. We might have something special for y'all. Get you some money in your pocket.
I hope so.
You like
My
money,
man Justin.
right?
I love it.
Okay.
My man Justin on the Twitter says your idea for the slam dunk contest awesome.
This jump was dope. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I think it's a winner. I'm not telling you. People need to jump on it. I think it's the only way to save it. And it makes the game more interesting, all that stuff. It was not interesting yesterday, the University of Memphis and SMU. It was interesting in the first half, and then it got significantly less interesting as things went on. Tigers up 32-25 with 3:37 left to play in the first half. And, then SMU went on a 12-0 run to end the first half to be up, 39-32 or 37-32 at the half. And then, it just kind of got worse after that. Tigers made a quick little push to begin the second half, tied it up at 41, and then the floodgates opened up for SMU. A 27-3 run ended up turning this thing into a laugher. It was absolutely crazy to watch this game in the way that it went down. And this is the thing, man. Anthony Sain,
I'm listening.
You remember we talked about this in the midst of this winning streak, and I kept telling everybody my analysis of the Tigers doesn't change based on specific wins and losses. I'm looking at the team as a whole, and the team as a whole, we got issues, we got problems. The way that that Penny deals with his team. And that was borne out Sunday. It was borne out by the way this thing was handled. The rotation issue jumped right back into the mix. The way that Penny, after seemingly finally kind of figuring out that, hey, you know what? Playing fewer guys is really kind of the way to go. Like pick my 6-7 guys and kind of just roll with it. Instead, he goes absolutely ballistic. Everybody played. 10 dudes played, 11 guys, played at least 9 minutes in this game. Nobody, Lester played 34 minutes. Nobody else played more than 25. Everyone's playing between This was this same approach that earlier in the season got the team in trouble. He had finally kind of figured out, okay, you know what, let's sort of jump in here and let's tighten this thing up a little bit, and went right back to it. You know, you could point to Malcolm Dandridge's involvement in the second half.
Go ahead.
As soon as he came in, it was right down the toilet. Chandler Lawson, just we throw Chandler Lawson into the mix. Josh Minot is again playing more of a bit role. I don't get it, and this goes back to what we were talking about, man. I don't get it. Like even when they were winning, some of these things didn't make any sense, and now. You see this game, and it goes right back to the stuff that we talked about. Like, why would he do this? Why? I don't get it.
Yeah, it was really frustrating. Josh Minot playing 13 minutes, surrounded by Jaden Hardaway with 14, Chandler with 13, and Dandridge with 9. I'm like, man, you could a lot of those Chandler and Dandridge numbers, Dandridge minutes could have gone to Minot. I'm like, I don't. It's just all strange. It just doesn't really make much sense at all. It's one game, but it's one game in the middle of a stretch where if you had won out, you wouldn't have had to worry about anything to do with the tournament, and now it all looks sketchy again. You really were on pace to possibly win the conference if you just kept winning. It's one loss, but it's just such a deflating loss, man. To lose by 17, to lose by nearly 20 points, and like you said, to have a 27-3 run put on you in the second half. I had a long night Saturday night. I don't know if you saw me on. We're not Facebook friends. So you're not on Facebook at all.
I'm never on Facebook, so I don't ever. Yeah.
So Sunday,
I'm not Facebook friends with anybody. Even if you think you're Facebook friends with me, you're not, because I don't ever look at it.
So I watched the first half of the game, and I was recovering from Saturday night. So I had the TV on so I could hear it in the bed, but I couldn't actually physically sit up and watch.
Did you dress nicely? Did you find that you get all that squared away?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was at friend Billy Richmond's birthday thing, and it was bomb. Just black excellence. I ain't gonna lie, but got in at like 5 a.m. Black excellence. I got in at like 5 a.m. You know, so and I realized I can't do that like I used to. So it's I'm listening to the game. In the bed. I don't have a TV in my room, and it's kind of on purpose. So I had the TV on in the living room, and I was listening to it from my bedroom while I was trying to fall back to sleep and relax. And I'm just hearing constant SMU cheering and, oh, it's a so-and-so that's all around. I'm like, man, we were getting blown out by SMU. And it's just deflating, man. And I was talking to a fan today on Twitter in my messages, and I said, I was like, yeah, the Tigers could still make the tournament. That's all well and good. But the only thing that's just so upsetting is that we're not supposed to be here, man. Like, this isn't supposed to be this type of season where we're, then I'm seeing people talking about the refs. I'm like, man, you got blasted by SMU. That had nothing to do with referees, bro. Like you said, we were talking about, it seems like Penny kind of found a niche. The offense was rolling good. He comes out playing a lot of guys in the first half. Dig into a team's depth, and then you kind of squeeze it out in the second half with a much tighter rotation. It's just the same, but it wasn't. It's like you went away with that from that. You started doing whatever they did last night, and it's just this season is just extremely disappointing. And they were looking like they were going to make a run. I was predicting them to run the table because like you went up there, you went on the road and you beat the only good team in the conference. You beat them.
Beat them handily.
Yeah.
Like, you really look good.
And I'm like, okay, man, you just beat the only good team in the conference, in my opinion. If you guys want to say SMU is good, whatever. You're getting lied to, but because they're not. But you beat the only good team in the conference. And just being honest, this isn't last year's Houston team. This Houston team is probably going to get smashed in the tournament. They're not the same Houston they were a year ago. You go up there and you beat them on the road. I'm like, okay, you just showed that you're better. You went out there and you've got more talent than them. You beat them like you should have. I said Memphis is going to run the table now because they've got more talent than everybody. All they had to do is wake up, and they'll run the table. And you go on the road and you get blasted by SMU, who's not that good, if they're good at all. And, yeah, it's just one game, but I just don't see – I had gained hope for a minute thinking this season could get revived or whatever. Still can, of course, but I've kind of back on like, yeah, whatever. Because this is – it's exactly what I feared, man. Like I feared, like, okay, yeah, they got enough talent to run the table, but they've also got enough BS going on that I could see them, going to the SMU and get ran off the court. So
well, that's the thing. That's why you can't trust them.
Nobody in this conference
you just can't trust this team.
Off the court. Nobody.
No, and you just can't trust the team. And you could tell at about 10 points into that run, the heads just dropped, and the effort level just kind of stopped. That was the frustrating thing. Like it was just a lot of real bad turnovers, a lot of just disappointment, and at the end they just sort of you could tell they just kind of gave up. Like there just wasn't a lot of effort, and that was really frustrating. Now again, if you look at the bracketologies and all that stuff, they're still right, they're still in it or really close, but they're kind of right on that bleeding edge where they could go either way depending on not only themselves but now
other teams around
teams and all that stuff. Obviously, the rest of the way it's pretty much all must wins. Now you really can't mess around because you're in direct competition with lots of other teams for limited spots. I was just I go back to Anthony Sain. I go back to again the process, and it's what I think was the most disappointing thing was that it just seemed to me that he didn't learn anything from the process. He didn't learn from the previous games that we've seen the Tigers have great success. You go basically 7 deep against Cincinnati, 7 guys playing 15 minutes or more. Against Houston, you went pretty much 6 deep in that game, with Minot and Malco playing a little bit here and there, but pretty much just 6 major guys playing in that game. Those were big. Tulane, you went probably 7 deep in that game, maybe 8. But didn't, that was not a whole lot. And then in this SMU game, you see a super balanced group where you end up with 10 dudes that play a whole bunch of minutes, and it just doesn't work. And that's the same way we saw earlier in the year. And I just don't understand. I don't know why you'd go back to that. Why you've seen success. This team's playing better than they've played in a long time. If you look at their offensive numbers over the last 6 games and that 6-game winning streak, they put up a stretch of outstanding offense. Game in, game out, really shooting the ball well, moving the ball well, and then it all just kind of fell apart in this game. Now, part of it's because SMU is playing well, and Kendrick Davis is a great player and all that, but part of it was a self-inflicted wound, and you just know you shouldn't be doing that at this point in the season with 4 regular season games left. You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, we're not in. It's just one game, but I mean, their backs are against the wall. They need to win every one of these. They've got 3 very winnable games coming up. You got Temple, Wichita State, and South Florida over the next week or so, and then the ultimate.
Yeah, you got 3 of the 4 games are at home.
Yeah, and then
the only road game is against South Florida, who's one
terrible.
of maybe the worst team in the league. And Houston is at home.
Yep,
so it's all right there for you. But again, if you'd have won
that game last night, man, you would be in a much different type situation right now. You feel a lot more secure.
Sain, this goes back to what we're talking about. Like, even if they lost the game by a few 3 points, 5 points,
blown out.
Tough game where they went back and forth and they played kind of the same 7-man rotation and kind of looked like themselves. And SMU just made shots and they saw some. Okay, hey, you know what? That's okay. You lose a tough one on the road, that happens. But not like that. Not like the way they did it. I mean, that's the frustrating. It's about actually watching the game and how it looked, and that was the frustrating thing because I kind of thought we'd gotten past that stuff, and it turns out that maybe we haven't. Maybe we haven't gotten past that stuff. So we shall see. As we said, Temple on Thursday, Wichita State on Sunday. Wichita State, really, really tough one where they played at home against Houston and lost in double overtime in that game that preceded the Tiger game yesterday. So they'll be feisty, but the Tigers have already taken care of business up there pretty easily on New Year's Day. So can't expect too much difficulty in that matchup. We'll come back. We'll talk to our buddy Mayor Mike on the other side. Actually, we won't. Just kidding. We won't talk to Mayor Mike. Just joking about that. But we will talk to our buddy, Corey Parson, going to join us.
He's going to join us at 2 o'clock. He's the free money, man. NBA All-Star break just happened.
He is the betting analyst, NBC Sports Edge, and good stuff from Corey. So you're going to hear about some of the bets that might be the best to make. 2 o'clock. We'll talk to Corey coming up when we come back. Maybe we can start to get in this discussion about
set the table for Juwan Howard.
Yeah, we set the table for that one.
Reasons to slap on MF.
We'll do that. We continue. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
So here's what car buyers are facing right now. Most dealerships have little to choose from or maybe some selection, but nothing to get excited about. Not at Auto Universe Germantown. I'm looking at beautiful top-of-the-line late-model cars and SUVs right here on Winchester off 385. Auto Universe Germantown has more luxury vehicles than I've seen in one place in a long time. Lexus, Infiniti, Audi, Jeep. Looks like every brand. How about Mercedes, Nissan, Honda, Chevy, Toyota? Affordable luxury. No haggle pricing. Come on by, ask for Zach. He'll take care of you. There's no wait time for service appointments either right here at Auto Universe Germantown. Call Robert at 901-751-7300 and get in now. Brakes, transmission, tire rotation, battery checks. Top technicians for all makes and models. even collision repair. Everything you want in one place. 7300 Winchester, just off 385. You're going to love Auto Universe Germantown. Ask for Zach and tell him you heard about him on Sports 56. Finest pre-owned luxury vehicles made affordable. That's eautouniverse.com.
Do you want a greener, more weed-free lawn? If you're like me, you can't stand the sight of dandelions, clover, or especially crabgrass. Hi, I'm Brandon Hawley, president of Lawn Solutions. We are your locally owned and operated weed control and fertilization company. We are also experts in disease and insect control on your lawn and landscape. Our uniformed technicians are full-time, year-round licensed and certified by the state of Tennessee. Lawn Solutions' personalized service is far more superior to that of national companies that promise but simply cannot deliver. We return phone calls, we keep appointments, and we want your business. What we will not do is bother you with endless phone calls or junk mail. Lawn Solutions will not sell you something your lawn doesn't need. If you're looking for a local lawn care company to kill your weeds and feed your grass, then Lawn Solutions is the finest. Call us at 867-5626. That's 867-5626. Or go online at lawnsolutionsinc.net. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for your business.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
The spring sales event is rocking and rolling at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Want 43 MPG Highway in these crazy times? We Gossett in 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage, $239 a month or $16,715. 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, 27 MPG combined in an SUV, $349 a month or $26,010. Plus, redesigned 2022 Outlander. We Gossett at $398 a month. Not a lease, you own them. And get our stellar 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online anytime at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 72 months Mirage, NH 01803, MSRP 17465 Sport, NU 003361, MSRP 27010, Outlander NZO 53093, MSRP 29615. Includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/28/22, dealer stock only.
Now, back to Sports 56 Grind Time. Here once again are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sain.
You were upset that the game got extended?
Oh, yes, I was. I didn't like the timeout being called, to be totally honest. It was not necessary at that moment, especially in a large lead.
All right. We got to get into this.
Yeah, that's the best audio they got of him. I tried to get him explaining. But.
No, I wanted to play the commentator when they were talking about
You want the commentator? Oh, my.
He threw
All right, so,
okay.
Like, man, shut up.
You wanted the end game nonsense.
Yeah. He threw a punch. He actually didn't throw a punch. He slapped the mess out of him. Slapped the taste out of his mouth. Big difference.
Is there?
Yeah, it's a difference.
No, I don't. I wouldn't. I don't.
Because if I slap you, I'm reminding you that you were to me. If I'm punching you, I'm trying to do something to you. Like I'm trying to mess you up if I punch you. If I slap you, I'm just reminding you that you ain't ready for what's coming next.
What?
So that's the you ain't never slapped nobody. It's all good, Pete. Don't worry about it. Come on, share your thoughts on the fruit.
All right, so let's set the table for the whole thing. At the end of the game, Wisconsin was up big on Michigan very late in the game. Juwan Howard didn't like the fact that Greg Gard, the Wisconsin head coach, called a timeout late in the game when they were up big because Michigan had been pressuring and trying to basically chase a lost cause. There was no way they were going to win that particular game. They ended up calling two timeouts in the last minute. The one that particularly made him mad was one with 15 seconds left with the Badgers up 15. And Juwan Howard said, I didn't like the timeout they called. I'm being totally honest with you. I thought it was not necessary. I thought that wasn't fair to our guys. Now, again, who cares? Like Greg Gard said, we had the timeout because we only had 4 seconds to get the ball at their half court. I didn't want to put my backups, all my bench guys, I didn't want to put them in a position of scrambling. So I took a timeout, got a new 10 seconds, and helped them get organized and get the ball in. He didn't like that when he came through the handshake line. So I don't know. It seems, mostly foolishness to me.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Gard is not the most well-liked dude. But Juwan Howard also has previous with a lot of coaches as well. So, both these guys have their history in various things. So then in the handshake line, Greg Gard appears to grab Juwan Howard's upper arm kind of area. And you could debate whether he was doing the whole thing where you go in for a handshake and you kind of grab a guy's arm, which I've seen people do before, or whether he was trying to grab him to, let him know that he didn't like the way he was talking to him. I don't know. Again, it depends on, none of us were there, so it's hard to know for sure exactly what happened. But then Juwan Howard put his finger in his face, got restrained, finger face again, restrained again, and then smack came over the top with a right open hand right to the face of one of the assistant coaches of Wisconsin.
Right.
And that really set the whole thing off, and it was a nasty deal at that point. Michigan's athletic director has apologized and says the Wisconsin's athletic director has said that he blames Juwan Howard fully and expects that there will be some significant punishment, and he thinks the league will do it quickly. So we await the punishment. We await word from the Big Ten. That's the scene, as I understand it.
Now your thoughts on it.
Now, my thoughts, at no point in time should a head coach ever slap anyone, whether it's a player, another coach. You are a position, you are a leader. You are a leader of young men or young women, and that is a role of responsibility. So no matter how tempted you may be, no matter how much you think someone may need to be slapped, it is not your position, nor should it be your place to do that. As a head coach in particular, you carry a much higher standard than the average player or the average person on the street. And I think that is behavior that is extremely unbecoming of a head coach. And if I were the athletic director, I don't know that I would fire him, but I would definitely we'd have a significant talk and a significant punishment for that, because that's completely unacceptable as far as I'm concerned. That's my thoughts. Your thoughts?
I agree with you, except for the fact about the point he needs to be punished for. I think it was a horrible looking display. I don't care about the whole timeout thing. Like, all that stuff doesn't matter to me at all.
That's just foolishness.
Yeah, that's whatever. But the invasions of space and crowding somebody, to me, it's the part where I'm like, sometimes you gotta slap somebody. That was, to me, it was a validated reason to slap him. But the truth also is that that's not the place to slap him.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I mean, there's been lots of guys in lots of scenarios that have deserved a smack or a slap or a punch or whatever. But you can't do that as the head coach. You just can't do it. Because now, to me, you have abdicated your responsibility. You can't tell these guys, hey, keep your cool when you didn't keep your cool. Hey, y'all calm down on the court when things get rough. You didn't do that, coach. Hey, don't put your hands on another player. Well, coach, I saw you put your hands on a coach, so I don't really think you can be talking to me about any of this stuff. As a coach, you kind of wash your hands of any ability to be able to speak from a position of leadership when you do that.
There's a couple things I'm gonna say, and I'm just gonna add a twist to the conversation. I remember as a high school student watching John Chaney walk into a John Calipari press conference.
That was the wildest thing.
That was wilder than this. I'm sorry. Even though
I'm going to kill you.
Even though Juwan Howard slapped this man, I remember John Chaney walking into a John Calipari press conference, yelling at John Calipari about him complaining to the referees, walking towards John Calipari, had to be separated, tell him, I will kill you. When I see you, I'm going to beat your, I saw that. I saw that in my own eyes as a kid. Now, I'll throw that out there. Then I'll also throw this out of here, too. Juwan Howard is not Juwan Howard, who, played a little college basketball, worked his way up, was an intern somewhere, and now he's, working to be a coach, and, he's coaching college basketball isn't how he got to be famous, isn't how he got to be a millionaire. Because Greg Gard is a millionaire too, and his assistant coach is a quarter of a millionaire at least. You know what I mean? like those guys, we're all talking about guys with money, but Juwan Howard's path is a little different than these other gentlemen. You understand what I'm saying? And Juwan Howard is also from the streets of Chicago. And when you're a millionaire and you're a celebrity, you are a very guarded person. And when someone crowds you, you can't walk up on Juwan Howard like coach at wherever school you're used to coaching against. And once you see that this brother ain't having it, you don't grab him. Like, you don't come and say, hey, man, you're going to talk to me. I need you to shake. No, man, you about to get slapped. And when he grabbed him, Howard's like, man, don't grab me like that. And then this other assistant coach walks in. I don't know if y'all seen the joke that was on Kings of Comedy, where they talk about how people walk in. And they talk about certain people walking to the murder. Like, hey, what's going on back here? And you get killed too. Like, why? If you see these dudes are hot, why are you walking up on Juwan Howard like you want to smoke? And natural instincts, okay, I see somebody else, this opposition, walking up on me. I'm about to slap you. So he slapped him.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Now, was he wrong for it? Of course he was.
Pete, let me say I have a question for you. Greg Gard states that his stance was that when he brought Juwan Howard closest to him, he was about to explain the timeout situation. So you're saying man, you don't believe that?
That's cool, but bro, that's what people have to understand. Because I ain't never slapped nobody like this, but I've had situations where people will say, well, man, I came to you to apologize. That's cool.
That's what he states he was about to do.
Even if you are, that doesn't mean I have to sit there in that moment and accept your apology. If I'm still feeling a way about what you did, I might not want to hear all that. You're not going to force me to accept your apology, bro. You're not going to force me to accept it. But I think there's a
difference. No, I get what you're saying, but there's a difference between forcing someone to accept your apology and forcing someone to hear your apology.
No,
like,
you
didn't even hear.
You don't have to make me hear it.
He didn't listen to what the man was saying.
You can't make me do none of that.
Therefore, the slap.
No, once Juwan Howard was like,
well, the slap was on somebody else. The slap was on an assistant coach. It wasn't even on Greg Gard.
If you from, I'm not going to pretend like I'm no street dude, but I know for a fact that if it's shown that I'm upset and the situation that got hostile, don't walk up on me, man. Don't let no side dude walk up on me.
But hang on. Hold on. We got to take a break. But let me just say this. This is a different deal than
Peter,
like if you're outside
it don't matter,
some
Peter,
random
like
restaurant
said,
or
he's not Joe Blow.
No, it does. But it does matter because
Darian get what I'm saying. I'm looking at Darian.
I don't know. I don't understand. No. Stop. You're making this like it's something else. we don't ever need, just like we don't need to do the national anthem. We don't need to do handshake lines after games. I don't know why we're doing that. That's stupid to begin with. Let's forget about that. Unless you're kids. Like I'm cool with kids doing it, but like grown-ups, whatever. Y'all can, just like the NBA. If you want to shake hands, cool. If you don't, walk off. No big deal. Whatever. It's not a thing. You're forcing these guys to interact. But within that situation where you're forcing guys to interact, there's like 20 people around and no one can hear because it's loud.
Right.
So if you're going to try to talk to somebody, you naturally have to lean in.
He went ready for it.
He's pulling a guy to like, but I mean, that's what I'm saying is maybe he didn't want to hear that, but it's not as if it's unnatural. It's not like you're standing outside in a street where most people are, there's not that many people around and you grab and you pull a guy close to you. There's a ton of people around. It's loud. He's pulling him in naturally, which is what you do. You see guys, look at after every game when you're on the court, guys get close to each other because they can't hear. It's loud. So that's a natural so I don't think he's pulling him in.
That's what I'm saying, Peter. This Juwan Howard's not your normal dude.
But it's not like this is not. But no, you mean a hood dude? Like he's never been in a basketball game
Peter,
before? Like
Peter.
He's been in thousands of games as a coach and player.
Peter, you get what I'm
He knows what it's like.
But somebody walking up on them, hey man, you're gonna listen to me. No, man, you're gonna get slapped.
You think he's not like? You think he's not capable of? His instinct pops in like he's some kind of like animal or what are you talking about? Like the dude can be like, hey, I'm aware of my surroundings. I'm in a basketball court.
Peter,
I'm a coach. Let me hold off on this for a second.
Like Jim Harbaugh and Pete Carroll. That's what it seemed.
And he got slapped.
You're like, Juwan Howard he's unable to control himself. You get near him and he lashes out like a. What do you? That's what you sound like. That's what you sound like.
That ain't what I'm saying, Peter. You can't. Your
But that's
instinct's
what
gonna kick
you
in.
sound like.
If I ain't already said, bro,
That's what I'm saying. You sound like, your instinct kick. No,
if I ain't already said, I don't want to talk.
He's a grown up.
Your boy should know better than to walk up on me like, hey man, hey, what's going on over here? You better get fired on. That's what's going on.
He's a grown up, man. Come on, get
Hey, Corey.
Hour number 2. We're gonna talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, so we can pick it up after the break.
Yeah, we'll pick it up. We'll do that.
I'm about to slap somebody.
Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
I'm Brian Elder. There are a lot of ways to ruin your roof. Probably none worse than ice and snow. Google the term ice dam, and you'll understand that standing snow and ice can destroy your home's interior. Call me, 867-0303. Damaged ceilings or interior? It's time to call Brian Elder Roofing, 867-0303. We're a platinum preferred contractor with Owens Corning, so we've been vetted and trained by the best. You've known the name for years. Call me before you call your insurance company. We won't try to sell you a new roof if you don't need one. We'll measure your roof from outer space. Call me, 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing is now currently hiring all positions. If you're ready to take your career to the next level, please apply today. Choate's is offering huge sign-on bonuses to seasoned technicians, plumbers, installers, and air duct cleaners. At Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing, we offer a career, not just a job, by putting you in a paid training program to develop your technical and customer service skills to best serve our customers. Choate's offers top pay in the Mid-South, weekly pay, paid vacation and holidays, company matching retirement account, health, dental, vision, and life insurance, and Christmas, Thanksgiving, and birthday bonuses. If this sounds like an exciting opportunity for you, then we should talk. So call us at 347-8086 or apply online at ChoatesHVAC.com under the careers link. Come, join our family.
The spring sales event is rocking and rolling at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Want 43 MPG Highway in these crazy times? We Gossett in 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage $239 a month or $16,715. 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport 27 MPG combined in an SUV $349 a month or $26,010. Plus redesigned 2022 Outlander. We Gossett at $398 a month. Not a lease, you own them. And get our stellar 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online anytime at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 72 months Mirage, NH001803, MSRP 17465, Sport, NU003361, MSRP 27010, Outlander NZO53093, MSRP 29615. Includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/28/22, dealer stock only.
February is the month of love, and not just on Valentine's Day. This is the month when you want to be warm with someone you love. The month when you want something romantic, something special to happen. And if you want special and romantic, you can't beat 117 Prime, Memphis's premier downtown dining destination. Take your significant other for the perfect meal at 117 Prime. The best steaks in town, the oyster bar, the wine selection that simply can't be beat. Experts determined to make your experience both special and romantic. This is the time to do something amazing with someone you love. This is the time for Prime.
You've heard of James Gaddis Jewelers, but have you heard what they've done lately? Everything. A tremendous selection of diamonds and jewels, gold, silver, and much more. Lots of watches, tons of custom-made jewelry, fine gemstones, bracelets, necklaces, so many choices. Romantics will love the one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. James Gaddis has experts to help you with wedding and engagement rings, plus 2 repair experts for fine watches and jewelry. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56 560 AM and 98.5 FM, your Mid-South sports station.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports 56 Grind Time. This hour is brought to you by Poultry Power. Here once again are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sain.
You had that reverse dunk that might have gotten this arena louder than it got for any dunk all weekend long. What would it take to get you in the dunk contest?
Nothing.
Just if I want to, I will. Other than that, nah.
Now see, if that man asked Jolly again, if Jolly got me slapped on, it would have been on dude. Bro, y'all can understand, bro. These former player coaches ain't Joe Blow and them, bro. You can't do them like that. You walk up on them like that.
Do them like what?
Peter, the assistant coach. There was a crowd of kids around the whole situation. The assistant coach, God bless his soul, I don't even know his name. He proceeded to walk through the crowd to get to Juwan Howard. Chicago instinct says, I'm about to slap you because I just saw you come through a crowd of people to get to me. I'm not Joe Schmo, a coach, bro. Like, don't walk. I'm Juwan Howard. I was in the NBA. Don't walk up on me like that. He ain't got to accept nobody's apology, bro. If I tell you I ain't with all that, that's when you say, all right, boys, let's go. Let's go to the locker room. My bad. You being a jerk, whatever, but I'm gone. I'm not finna press the issue, though. And the assistant coach walked on and he got slapped.
That assistant coach name?
God bless
Joe Krabenhoff.
I'm not Joe Krabenhoff.
I love the fact that I mean, I really, really, really like the one guy that, like, in the middle of all that did the Degeneration X crotch chop.
What? I ain't seen none of that.
One of the Wisconsin assistant coaches did a crotch chop in one like X-Pac.
Man, slap that dude. I'm gonna watch this mess again, bro.
I think it was before. I think it was before all that stuff right there.
Look at this man.
It was before all the.
Don't let me talk to you. Hey man, hey buddy. Sorry, man. Man, get out my face. Hold on.
So here's I mean, walking through.
Did he grab? There's a crowd of people. This man comes through people to get to Juwan Howard. Man, get about me, bro. Why you walking up on me? He trying to get through these kids to get to Juwan Howard. Through security. Got fired on. Bro, hey, it's just natural instinct, bro. This man trying to get through security to get to me. So I'm like, okay, what you on? See, Pete, I said you ain't never slapped nobody before.
No, I never slapped.
Stop disrespecting me, bro.
He threw a punch.
I've punched somebody, but I never slapped somebody before.
It's because you had to do that, though. He slapped him to let him know, man, look, this ain't what you want, man. Back up. He probably going to get suspended. You think he gets suspended, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you can't do that. My point is,
no, you can't do it. But
if you want to talk about punch versus slap, man, it doesn't. It's definitely a slap. It's not a punch, but it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you can't do that as a head coach. You just can't do that.
I'm aware.
That's what he's aware.
Like, you can have, like, you're able to have two. We're all grown-ups, I think, except for the junior grind timers out there, and we appreciate y'all. But y'all can learn to think like grown-up here, okay? I'm gonna tell everybody this is my think like a grown-up time, okay?
Put a lid on your
you
bucket.
Can. Okay, are you ready?
Hey, he put a
you guys
lid on
ready
his
for this?
bucket. Go ahead.
Hey, y'all ready for this? Sain, you ready for this? This is gonna blow your mind. Two things can be true at once.
Fact.
Both Greg Gard was wrong for grabbing and yanking and pulling Juwan Howard up to him, and the assistant coach likewise trying to run up on him was wrong. And Juwan Howard was also wrong for his response in doing so. Those two things can be true. You don't have to endorse fully one or the other. You can say that Juwan Howard was wrong without also saying those dudes shouldn't have. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, obviously if Juwan Howard's not in the mood, and clearly he wasn't, to hear or deal with the apology, The best thing to do is just walk away. Don't try to grab. Don't try to pull. Don't try to convince him at that point. You just I'll just walk away. I don't know why we do this stupid handshake line to begin with in the first place. Clearly, there's no point in doing it. But if in fact somebody does make you mad or somebody does get in your position, this is not outside of a restaurant. This is not outside of a hotel at 2 a.m. This is middle of a basketball floor where there are 5 million cameras, tons of people. Just let it go. Walk to the back. And if you want to walk to the back, just like, Zebo, when he walked to the back and went after Kendrick Perkins and tried to find him, hey, that's a different thing right there. He didn't do it on the court. He said, I'm going to go back. I'm going to whip your ass when I find you in the back. That's okay. Now, hey, all right. Now I'm not saying that's right either.
Right.
But at least at that point now you're doing it away from everybody.
It was instinctive though, Peter. Let me ask you this: Why was the assistant coach walking? Why did the assistant coach walk up on him?
Anthony Sain. Man, look, we got to stop with instinctive. Okay, instinctive is not an excuse. It could be. There's lots of things that can be instinctive. You could be instinctively mad when you're driving your car, and you could pull your car into somebody else and cause them to have a major accident and kill them or whatever. That was my instinct. I was upset. That's not a justification. It's not. It might be true, but it's not a justification. So I don't want to hear that. That's not that to me. That's not. If my son says, "Oh, it was instinct," well, I mean, if you're 5, sure, but if you're 20, no, and if you're 40 or whatever, definitely not. Definitely not.
Peter asked a question that you're not answering. Why was the assistant coach walking through security trying to get to this man?
Yeah, this coach is back.
Exactly.
Yeah, obviously
if you come in with that kind of energy, bro, you get slapped. I don't care what you're talking about, Peter.
But that's wrong.
I understand. I understand the place was wrong.
In that situation,
what
that's
if that man had hit Juwan Howard? Juwan like, man, I'm trying.
Then that would have been extremely wrong. Yes, that would have been wrong also.
Hey, Pete, I got a question.
But he
for
didn't.
You. So what should the punishments be in this situation? You just said that the assistant coach was wrong, Howard is wrong, as well as Gard. What should the punishments be for the 3 involved?
I would suspend. I'd probably have Juwan Howard suspended for probably the
season.
Rest
You only have like
season.
3 weeks left.
I'd say the rest of the regular season, which is like 3 or 4 games.
Peter, nerve of you.
Probably the same for the assistant coach. Greg Gard, probably 1 or 2 games.
So no postseason bans for either coach.
No, I don't think.
Correct.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Peter, stop.
And I'm sure within the school they would probably have the same. They probably throw in a fine.
Who would suspend them? The conference?
Yeah, the conference is looking into it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the conference will suspend.
So what say you? What's the punishments from your standpoint?
1 game for everybody.
1 game for everybody?
And keep it moving.
It's gonna happen next week.
It didn't involve. Listen, it didn't involve anything that had to do with kids. No kids got harmed in it. Just a bunch of men, bunch of millionaires being stupid, man. The kid got stomped out.
Didn't someone get stomped at the
I
bottom
ain't
of the
looked deep
pile
into
or something?
I ain't seen no pile.
Okay.
There was somebody on the ground.
Yeah, someone was on the ground.
I don't know if got stomped, but I did see somebody on the ground.
Was anybody humming after the kid got stomped on?
1 game back to your corners.
Yeah.
Let's rock and roll.
It's grown. It's a bunch of millionaires being goofy. Peter, if we ever out of the Grizzly game, right, and somebody walk up on you, like talking like, oh man, you like talking about some vaccination stuff or mad about something we didn't say on the show, they walk up on you, I'm a founder, bro. It's just instinct, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just to let you know we out. When somebody walk up on you, if they get too close to you, bro, I'm a found for you. Because you're gonna say, nah, man, this ain't the place, man.
But I don't want you. But I don't want you.
Too late.
This ain't the place we found you, man.
I don't want you.
Too late. Too late. Instinct.
I want you to do
kicked in.
I want you to do that.
I'm gonna do it, bro, because they ain't thinking about if they walking past security to get to you. You feel me? It's the same way, Peter. Just like if we at the Grizzly game. You remember the last Grizzly game we were standing behind the thing, right? If a fan walks up on us, instinct is gonna say, okay, how did you get here? I'm gonna found you. Thank you. I don't know if that was a correct tone or what, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't either. But that was. I don't know, man. Like
I understand. It looked really bad.
I said my piece. It's not about look. It's not about look. It's just not. It's not about look at all. I'm not talking about look. It is really bad. It's just bad. It's bad. Period. From a head. You got to understand, saying the difference that we're talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
What I focused on for myself is that you take the position as a head coach. You are supposed to be a leader of young men. You are responsible for the stewardship and the teaching of these young men. That is the whole point of doing this. And we put college coaches, even at a different level because they're taking men usually from, 17, 18 to 20 in a kind of a transitional time and all that. So they have a little bit of a different role. They always in people's homes. I'm going to be like your dad. I'm going to take care of your mom. I'm going to take care of your baby, blah, 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 all this stuff. So we have a different responsibility level. It's not the same as you helping me out if somebody runs up on me. I appreciate that, but it's not the same. It's when you talk about a head coach, part of the responsibility is you have to sometimes eat a little poop that people throw out at you in order to be the bigger man, in order to be the bigger person.
Or you can slap the poop out. Or you can slap the poop out them folks.
Or you can slap the poop out. But again, you then forfeit the right to tell your kids, hey, when things get tough in a game, if somebody fouls you hard, hey, you go back and you shove them down and you get kicked out of the game because I don't give a bleep because I'm Juwan Howard and I'll slap you if you come up in. No, that's what you
gonna find them kids and they gonna get coach back. They go, yeah.
Hey, it's your instinct. Hey, it's instinct. If somebody says something wrong to you in the game, they come up to you and ma'am, whap. There you go. Oh, you get kicked out. Hey, you got kicked out. So be it. It was instinct. No, it's not. You have to be. This part of leadership is sometimes it sucks that you have to, swallow hard and be like, look, I want to slap this man and he deserves to be slapped, but I can't right now.
Peter, I'm totally
that's
agree
part
with
of leadership.
I totally agree with you. But what I'm saying is, and I'm going to leave this part alone because I don't want people to misinterpret what I'm saying. I also want to read something that Texas said too. This is what you have to understand, Peter. Juwan Howard didn't come up the way these other coaches came up. He is a hood dude, all right? So what I'm saying is,
I got you.
Even though he's came up in a millionaire, endorsements, assistant coach, played in the NBA, all those type of things, there are certain things that might trigger out that hood dude in him. Fam, you understand what I'm saying? And I agree with what you're saying. It's a very bad look. He should not have done it. But I'm just saying, I see why he did. I totally understand why he did. That's all I'm saying. He's wrong. He'll probably get suspended. He has to deal with the punishment that comes with it. But, hey, I understand why he did it, is all I'm saying.
I need to act like it.
I see the Chicago kid in him like, man, two dudes just walked up on me. One of them grabbed me, tried to stop my forward motion. I told the man, fall up off me. And then some other dudes ran up on me. One came through security, so I slapped him. I get it, but he's wrong, but I get it, is all I'm saying. Let me read something that Texas said, too. Texas says, if you weren't there and didn't hear exactly what was said between the two, you cannot form an accurate opinion on what happened. This is what I'll say to that. I think that if there was something crazy said that was like, racially related or whatever, or cursing him out or whatever, I think that would have gotten out there. So I don't think anything like that existed. No. I think it's strictly Juwan Howard feeling the way and being overzealous about the whole timeout thing. But with that being said, if the man's upset, you have to know when to say, all right, screw this.
But listen, Juwan Howard's always been triggered by timeouts ever since Chris Webber.
Exactly.
Late game timeouts that's a very sensitive issue for Durant. I mean, come on. It's been a long time. Yeah. Anytime you see the timeout late in the game, he just PTSD freaks out. No. Honestly, he was trying to slap Chris Webber. That's what he said. He's going. He said, "Greg Gard, you look like Chris Webber out here. No, you can't call a timeout. Wham!" Smack.
Oh, man.
Another Texas says, I hope the referee never walks up to Howard to explain a call or replay decision. Coach, let me grab you for a second. Get off of me! Wait! Who do you think you're running up on?
I am. Who do you think you are? I am.
Well, I mean, like, man, yeah, I guess I can't. So I just want to make this clear, okay? Because I'm not saying this. I didn't say this at all. But Anthony Sain is saying the hood in Juwan Howard precludes him from showing self-control.
I didn't say it at all.
Darian, I want to make that clear. I'm not saying that.
He has
different. That's not me.
He has different instincts.
I am of the opinion that he is capable as a grown man to control his behavior.
He's got different.
But Anthony Sain, on the other hand, is saying that the hood upbringing is such that he cannot. I think that's ridiculous.
It's in there, Peter.
That's exactly what he's saying.
Darian.
Okay, that's what he said. I just want to make sure that's what he said.
Look through this glass. Tell me you don't understand what I'm saying.
I get both points. Hey, I get both points. Leadership sucks. That's what Pete's saying. Leadership sucks.
Radar Superstar says playing with Penny, he's going to slap one of y'all media members. Is that? You think that's part of it? Is that part of Penny?
I mean, you heard what Penny said.
This media, because this media gets
is Penny a hood dude?
Like, is that
sometimes when it comes to me?
It's the same thing, Pete.
You heard what
Pete? It's the same thing. That you can't come to.
Is it true that Penny texted Juwan Howard and said, "Nice job, man"?
Go for it. Good job, dog.
Hey, Penny about to one up that man on that Houston game. The Houston game, Penny finna went up there. Hey, that game better be. Everything better go smooth against Houston.
Oh man.
Hey,
Memphis and Michigan are. Some people say Memphis versus Michigan in the
first round.
The first round. And
Play-in
first.
game.
Y'all already know what it's gonna sound like.
So, man, that's gonna be something. That's gonna be something right there.
Oh man.
Y'all so crazy.
Bro, you think it's? Do you think? Hold on.
Fun conversation.
Pause everything. I need absolute silence. To my point. Stop laughing. To my point. Do y'all think that the two most ridiculous moments in college basketball season happening by two rich-ass former players that are also hood dudes, one from North Memphis, one from the streets of Chicago, do y'all think that crap is a freaking coincidence?
Fighting for their job.
Do you think that crap is a coincidence? Both of them at the hands of out-of-touch white men. Do y'all think that's a coincidence?
Man.
Do y'all think that's a coincidence? Yes or no?
I'm with you, man.
But I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, Sain just pulling a race card. No, you tell me why the two most ridiculous incidents you've seen in college basketball is two fish out of water.
I don't think it's the race card. I think
it's not a race card at all.
I think it's the former. No.
Peter, it is. Peter.
No, I think it's the former NBA part. I think it's the part where you are not accustomed to having
Peter,
more.
There's more treadwell. There's more treadwell. Yeah, there's more treadwell than
Chris slap nobody, Peter. I ain't seen whoever. You tell me. I ain't seen what's his name.
Dick Vitale is never.
No, the guy who had a cold when COVID first came out.
What is John Chaney?
No, the guy who spit in his hand. The guy, his assistant coach spit in his hand for sanitizer. God, dog. The mayor, Fred Hoiberg. I ain't seen Fred Hoiberg slap nobody.
Yeah.
It's the hood in them, man. Them dudes. Peter, you just can't do that, man. You can't do them dudes like you do Joe Blow over at Pepperdine. No, man, you can't do. You gonna get slapped, man.
Oh man!
Don't walk up on that man like that. You go get slapped. Do you think that the two wildest incidents in college basketball this season, both coming from former basketball players from two of the hardest neighborhoods in America? You think that's coincidence, bro? No.
Stop asking me stupid.
Exactly, bro. It's the same thing.
Or I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna smack you right in the head.
Man, y'all better
is Penny gonna get slapped?
Wait, what is that?
Is Penny is he gonna get slapped or is somebody gonna slap him?
Sain wouldn't know who the human if you in the hood. He wouldn't have slapped him. He would have not. I don't know what you talking about, bro. Anyway, just don't come up on Mount Moriah talking about whatever you just said. But anyway, bro, Darren, look at me and tell me online, bro.
Oh no, you're 100% accurate. 100% accurate. And then especially from the standpoint of that other guy coming through the crowd.
Yeah, this man came through security.
That guy coming through the crowd, yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, stop all that.
No, I'm gonna slap you because
you act like that's abnormal. Like that's happened in every scrum altercation in college basketball. Like they or regular basketball. They all just come up there and everyone fights and whatever. Like it's not unusual. It wasn't like he's like, I'm coming through and I'm about to just no. He wouldn't coming up with malice in his eyes. Again, I want to make this clear. I don't endorse any of this. I, for one, think that people who were raised in the hood, quote unquote, can in fact control their emotions.
I'm not saying
on the
you
other
can't,
hand,
Peter. What I'm saying is
that's what it sounds like to me.
That he was battling against. He
lost that battle.
Yeah,
he lost that battle.
Hey,
well,
I'm saying
it's not cut and dried like that. That's all I'm saying.
Peter,
man, you are racist.
Yeah, that's what it is. Peter, for real though, you can't. Come on, man. There are default instincts to them guys.
Darian,
man.
I'm trying my best out here, man. You know.
Come on, man.
This man.
Stop disrespecting me, bro.
Yeah, don't disrespect me.
Thank you. Exactly. Stop disrespecting. Exactly.
Way too hard for that.
He worked way too hard for this.
Way too hard for this.
Disrespecting the man, acting like he turns into like the Hulk out here when you don't make me angry. You wouldn't like it when I'm angry.
From Chicago.
I'm from
But we all know that this is going to get used against him in recruiting, though. Man, don't send your child to that monster. That's what Greg Gard, that's his name. When he walks into a home
Dr.
in
Jekyll and
Southside
Mr. Hyde
Chicago,
over here.
He's going to have that footage on his phone.
Guess what? He can go back to being millionaire Juwan Howard and never have to worry about none of this.
Yeah, so can Penny, but that's not what they want, man.
Which is part of the thing, man.
Hey, man.
Part of the thing. You need coaches that need the job. I keep telling you that. You need to have coaches that need the job.
Well, you could act like Juwan Howard didn't take their team like deep in the tournament last year. Come on, man. Don't do it.
I didn't. Did you hear me say anything about him as a good coach or bad coach? You didn't hear me say anything like that.
What's my boy that
putting words in my mouth, Anthony Sain?
I just pictured Juwan Howard slapping Franz Wagner.
Yeah.
Here, white boy, come here. It's not the best at you.
Then he'll be like,
Franz. Hey, Franz.
Come here right now.
All right, we come back. We're going to talk to my man Corey. We're
y'all
going
some
to talk
money,
to Corey
man.
Parson. Yeah, try to get you some money. We'll do that when we continue here live and local.
It'd be like Urban Meyer.
8255. He put the urban in Urban Meyer, apparently. Switch 98.5.
I'll slap the urban out of you.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
The global shortage on chicken is finally over, but there are still places that will tell you that it is hard to find, except for our good friends at Poultry Power. Poultry Power is currently delivering chicken in bulk to your home or business at prices lower than your local grocer or food distributor. Having a cookout or catering event? Tired of being told no by other food companies when you need chicken for your restaurant? Poultry Power can save the day. Visit www.poultrypower.org to place your order now. And remember, when others tell you no, Poultry Power has the power to tell you yes.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
I'm Brian Elder. There are a lot of ways to ruin your roof. Probably none worse than ice and snow. Google the term ice dam, and you'll understand that standing snow and ice can destroy your home's interior. Call me, 867-0303. Damaged ceilings or interior? It's time to call Brian Elder Roofing, 867-0303. We're a platinum preferred contractor with Owens Corning, so we've been vetted and trained by the best. You've known the name for years. Call me before you call your insurance company. We won't try to sell you a new roof if you don't need one. We'll measure your roof from outer space. Call me, 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
Hey, remember how 20 years ago I switched to Progressive? Well, now it's the future, and I used all those savings to buy this new hologram phone. Because, it's the future, and everything is holograms now.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Hey, Mid-South, the Kia President's Day sales event is in full swing at Gossett Kia on the Pike, and you're going to want to make your move today. Get Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty and get ready to ride in a 2022 Kia Forte LXS, $199 a month. 2022 Kia Soul LX, $219 a month. Both 36-month leases, $27.99 due at signing. Plus 2022 Kia Sorento LX, we Gossett, $308 a month. 36-month lease, $34.99 due at signing. So come see Bobby J. He's going to put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month leases, $650 acquisition fee, $30,000 per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte, Indy 456, $841, MSRP $21,090, Soul N78, $23,215, MSRP $21,515, Sorento NG $104,027, MSRP $31,460. Includes all rebates and incentives, PF $695, must finance through KMF, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/28/22, dealer stock only.
Now, back to Sports 56 Grind Time. This hour is brought to you by Poultry Power. Here once again are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sain.
Oh, man. Pete, I just got a DM.
There you go, Pete.
I just got a DM from Sharon Brown of the Memphis Flyer, who covers the Grizzlies for the Flyer. And she sent me a picture of the famous commercial appeal article. No, it wasn't from the commercial appeal, but the article that said Miami Heat Coach Eric Spoelstra left with assistant coach David Fisdale, but it was Juwan Howard. You remember that picture?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh God.
The day that he was the day that Fisdale was hired.
And it was Juwan Howard the whole time.
Woo!
Oh yeah, this was in the commercial appeal. Yeah.
You and me.
Peter, you tripping though, for real though. I get what you're saying, but you ain't seeing what I'm saying, bro. Like these former players ain't them dudes, bro. You can't do them like this.
I see what you're saying. Listen, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. You just
saying it was wrong. He clearly was wrong, but I'm like, man, hey.
I just can't get there. Like our man, Rated R Superstar says, Peter got to realize we can code switch for so long. When you push that button, our real person
it's coming out.
I mean, okay, but like, I can't necessarily. If you're a head coach, you just can't be doing that. You just can't do that in that situation. You can't do it. You got to, whether you want to call it code switching or whatever, you gotta keep doing it until at least a scenario where you're not wide open in full public view slapping somebody. You just can't do that. That's not a leader thing to do.
Peter,
I'm not saying somebody doesn't deserve it. I'm not saying it's not in some ways justified. I get it. I get all that. I think Greg Gard and the assistant coach both were wrong in the way they handled it to begin with. Absolutely.
Because now you double teaming. You making it 2-on-1. If I tell your coach follow up off me, you come over, hey buddy, what's going on? Hey, you finna get slapped.
I was gonna say, let Mr. Parsons break the tag, y'all. How about that? I said, let Mr. Parsons.
Yeah, we're gonna see what Corey got. Hey, I know whose side Corey finna take on this. Corey, what's going on, my brother?
Yo, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing down there? No,
Corey, what's up? What's going on?
Yesterday, definitely the story of yesterday on the social media and sports media, the Juwan Howard thing. Listen, I get the whole thing, nasty situation. The dude guard clearly, Juwan didn't want to be bothered with it. Back up off me. Don't effing touch me, whatever the case may be. Should have died right there. You mentioned the coach coming in, hey, buddy, what's going on? All of that shouldn't have happened. But the bottom line of the matter is, in that moment, Juwan cannot strike. He cannot physically put his hands on another individual. And that's why when the punishments do come down, Juwan will be a little bit more stiffer than everyone else's. Is this a fireable offense? I do not think so.
Nah. Well, Corey, we appreciate you. You come from the mean streets of New York City. Yeah. Harlem World. Now, where you from? Yeah.
I'm from Harlem, New York, where I've seen some basketball games.
I was playing it.
With people putting their hands on each other. Yeah.
Harlem World. You know we're going to play there. Harlem what? Yeah.
All right.
Pull out
Corey,
that thing, have them Harlem shaking. Come on, let's see. They don't know nothing about that, Peter. You ain't never seen nobody get popped. Exactly. You just start Harlem shaking, Peter. You ain't never seen that before.
Just right there, Peter. You don't even know.
You think they dancing? They took that shot in the back. Now they out there Harlem shaking, Peter. You don't know nothing about that. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead, Corey. Now we supposed to be asking you a question. My bad. But Corey.
Yeah.
Get us some money, man.
What's up?
Get us some money, man. NBA, the All-Star break just happened. You got the win totals. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Put some money in our pocket. What's some stuff you seeing in the second half? Well, I think
we already did a good job. You know what I'm saying? We're putting money into people's pockets. When I came on before the season started, same kind of conversation. I told you guys the Memphis Grizzlies plus 375 to win the division was a good bet.
Mm-hmm.
You got me feeling pretty good about that right now going into the second half of the season with a 6-game lead. Memphis Grizzlies win total. One win away from cashing, so getting ready to cash their win total. Their 42nd win will be on their next victory. So far, so good with those. Also getting some win totals. In the beginning of the year, they'd already cashed. The Lakers under has already cashed. The Atlanta Hawks under has already cashed.
Wow.
And I believe we do still have a couple of sweat with the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. I can imagine the Mavericks are the team that you guys want to know what it looks like for them in the second half of the season.
Yeah, man. I've already lost my bet. I think with I think the Hawks messed up my bet already. I had for the season. I had a nice little parlay to get me out of poverty, but that did not happen. The Cavs.
Now, here, let me ask you this, Corey. What do you think about Yeah, the other day, Friday, I think it was, I went on my FanDuel account, and I went ahead and just plopped a little bit. Just I was feeling kind of froggy. I don't know, just one of those things. It happens sometimes. And I was feeling froggy. I put down a few bones on the Memphis Grizzlies at plus 3,000 to win the NBA championship. Now, let me explain, because, Chris Paul, even though he played last night, which was real weird, he's out for likely 6 to 8 weeks. That's basically the rest of the regular season with a broken thumb, right thumb break. Well, you take him out of the mix, all of a sudden Phoenix, who's got a pretty big lead in the West, maybe not so much. Warriors have been a little bit up and down. You can make the argument the Grizzlies are really well positioned in the Western Conference to make a push. I don't know, Corey. I'm just kind of talking myself into making a little long shot push. I don't think that's the craziest bet.
I think, listen, well, and I would like to bet much better, and I think you might be able to find this as this week with being no basketball, no games till Thursday. You check your book, wherever you like to play at, DraftKings, FanDuel, PointsBet, wherever. You're going to start to see some second half props on second half Vegas show up futures. There is one on the board with the Grizzlies to be the number one seed. I would take a look at that. As far as the Grizzlies to win the West, that's going to be a tougher hill to climb, in my opinion, just because of the simple fact that, yes, you mentioned the injuries to Paul and the injuries to Draymond Green and that playing a big role. But what I worry about, and I hate to say it, is that first round matchup. Because you're going to have a team, the teams that stand out to me are Dallas and Denver, that I think could give the Grizzlies a little bit of trouble in the first round. Obviously, the Mavericks as a division opponent, familiar. They've always played the Grizzlies well, particularly recently. And Denver, the general manager and president of the organization came out last week and said they fully expect to have Murray and Porter Jr. available by the playoffs. So Denver's going to come into the postseason probably ranked a little bit lower or seated a little bit lower than where they should be. Then they're a team that can make a run. So I think it's going to be tough for the Grizzlies. In order to really get a chance to hedge that bet, you're going to have to see the Grizzlies in the Eastern and the Western Conference Finals. I don't know if they make it to the conference finals this year.
I can definitely see that as well. I've talked about that a lot. I can see a scenario where Memphis makes it to the finals, or I can see one where they get put out in the first round. But could you see Memphis possibly moving up to 2? The Golden State Warriors have a harder schedule going forward. We don't know when Draymond Green's coming back. We talked about that already. Could you see a situation where Memphis eventually passes the Warriors, and they're not looking at a team like a Denver or a Dallas, but they're looking at maybe whoever comes out of the play-in, maybe the Lakers or the Kings or Minnesota, someone like that in that type of situation?
That's a much better situation, and I like that much better for the Grizzlies to come in there and move up and get that 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. Like you said, you mentioned the scheduling in the second half of the season. These last 23 games is going to be critical and it can be difficult. The Golden State Warriors have already starting to show some slippage. But what we know about the Warriors are their team, they're not worried about seed. They're like, let the tournament start, and we can get in there and we can do basically what we were doing when we created our Southern Side dynasty. And now we're back at that moment right now. When you look at the Grizzlies and what they have on the second half of the season, they do have one 4-game road trip, but that 4-game road trip goes to Oklahoma City, Indiana, Atlanta, your favorite team, Sain, and Houston. You know what I'm saying? That's the only real bad or significant road trip of the second half. They still have games versus the Bucks, Golden State, Phoenix, Utah, and Denver in the second half of the season. But for the most part, they're not going to fall too far out, but they do have ability to make that push, which you're going to need to go on a 6, 7, 8-game winning streak to get there. And here's the thing. We've seen this team go on long winning streaks before, so I feel pretty good about them having a chance to get up to that 2 seed.
Corey, I got a couple more things to ask you. I'm in an all-out fight with my co-host Peter right here today.
No doubt.
Ja Morant, where is he in your MVP race? Now let me just throw a couple things in. Hold on. Before you give an answer, which I know is going to be a great answer.
No. No. Let him talk. Don't give him any.
Go ahead, man.
I don't want you to. Don't.
Come on.
Don't prejudge the witness over here.
Go ahead.
Let him make his determination.
Go ahead, Corey.
If I was filling out an MVP ballot right now, my number one spot will go to Big Joel Embiid.
Okay.
My number 2 spot will go to Nikola Jokic, and then my 3rd spot will go to Ja Morant. I think Ja Morant is an MVP in this league. I think he will have an MVP season, sooner rather than later. But I'm just looking at particularly Joel Embiid. Embiid, a player who should have won the MVP last year until he got hurt the second half of the season. But he has a stretch that he's on right now. Maybe wrong, DeMar DeRozan's playing great basketball as well. But him as a big man and what he's able to do and the way that he scores the basketball, he really is. The 76ers don't have Joel Embiid, they can't win.
That's true. He is right now, as I see it, plus 145. Your slight favorite at this point over Jokic at plus 270. Giannis is third, about plus 400, somewhere in that neighborhood. Then there's a big gap. Steph Curry plus 1,200. Ja plus 1,800, which, Corey, to me, if you have Ja third, I have Ja like fifth or sixth. But if you have Ja third, then plus 1,800 is a pretty good bet just to lay a little bit down on, because that's pretty strong.
Sorry about that. I placed the wager on Ja at 35-1 back when the season first started. So I'm already sitting on a nice Ja ticket. That's 35-1 already cut down to 18-1. So, I have it, but it's not, like I said, if I was making that MVP vote, but I definitely do have, a piece of Ja Morant winning the MVP.
Well, and it's going to be, and again, it's going to be tough because of, as you said, I mean, I don't think there's no disrespect. Ja's had such a phenomenal year. It's been so much fun to watch him emerge and do the stuff that he's doing. But as you pointed out, I mean, Joel Embiid is carrying the Sixers, and Nikola Jokic is carrying the Nuggets, and both these teams. Imagine what they'd be like without those guys. It's hard to even envision what they look like without those two guys. So, and again, that's no knock on Ja. It's like that's a huge hill to climb, considering what those guys have done and the history that they've got.
Yeah, and listen, the Grizzlies have done a great job building the roster. So, obviously we know that Ja is the leader. Ja is the catalyst. Ja is the best player. But if the Grizzlies' depth is very, very impressive, and they're one of the deepest teams in the league.
Corey,
here's my other question. Let me ask you this, and Sain, you can feel free to jump into this one too. I was talking about this with some folks. We've seen around the league the James Harden thing, Ben Simmons thing, this long, drawn out craziness that finally has led to Harden going to Philly, Ben Simmons going to Brooklyn, and we'll see what happens after that. We've seen other guys, in the past try to orchestrate different trades, different moves, and all that stuff. In your mind, Corey, is it good for the league to see guys have this level of control over these franchises? Is that something that ultimately is a positive because it generates buzz, attention, et cetera? Or is that something that the league should be a little bit concerned about because of the way that these teams have been dragged out there and all their dramas put out there in the public?
Well, I mean, and the thing about it is, listen, it takes a special player to do so. And I think what you saw in the situation, I think a special player on special circumstances to do so. And then once that player gets the leverage, if he chooses to strike, well, then you're in a pretty tough spot. You knew in Brooklyn going into this situation, you knew how volatile, how not volatile Harden can be. Harden got up there at the press conference and said, had to do everything in Houston. Then I come here, and it's basically the same thing. Basically saying Kevin Durant is going to take a month off during the season. Kyrie Irving, you never know which way the wind blow with him. So now I'm sitting here supposed to drag this team to 50 wins. That's not what he wants to do at this point in his career. You have to understand, for as much as we talk about the big three of three-point shooters with Steph and Ray Allen and Reggie Miller, the next name on that list is James Harden. He was up there with one of them jackets on last night. He has power in this league. The situation with Ben Simmons, he has that big contract that makes it very difficult to deal with. You see what kind of unicorn of a player he is, but by the same token, that's not going to work in Philadelphia. I got news for you. It's not going to work in Brooklyn either. I think it's an issue, but very few players have that kind of power to get that much leverage over an organization.
What do you think about that trade? We haven't talked to you since that trade happened. Do you see Philly as being one of the better teams in the East now? Brooklyn, are they the top 2 teams in the East? How do you think both of those teams made out after that trade?
But I tell you what, Sain, you talk about the East is going to be the Wild West when you get to the playoffs this year. You can have a first-round playoff series with the Bucks and the Nets. You can have the Bulls and the Cavaliers in the first round. It's going to be a wild Eastern Conference ride in the Eastern Conference. I would say I would give the edge to Harden and Embiid and the 76ers because, I remember last summer when Ben Simmons was the laughing stock of the NBA. And then you mean to tell me 8 months later, it's like, oh, you know what? They shouldn't have traded Steph Curry. And I'm like, you mean Steph Curry? They're like, no, they shouldn't have traded Steph Curry. And I'm like, they got back James Harden. The Nets got a dude that was making $40 million that didn't want to play with the best player in the league right now. I don't think you can win with guys like that, personally. So I'm going to go with the Harden side of it. Because one thing I know about Harden, when he is motivated, he does show up.
Well, and it's going to be – I think these playoffs are going to be amazing for that reason. As you said, I mean, the East is going to be – it's incredible. The play-in could involve, Harden and the play-in could involve, Ben Simmons and the Nets. Play-in could involve all sorts of guys. The Nets just grabbed Goran Dragic, kind of a surprise that he ends up there, but it's an interesting proposition as they kind of double down on ball handlers in this situation. The West is there's a lot of possibilities there with some new faces continuing to emerge. So we're going to have to keep an eye on all of it, Corey. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for jumping on with us, and keep doing your thing.
Hey, no doubt. I got a couple quick ones for you. Help put some dollars in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
If you can find some odds on the American Conference Tournament, I would take a shot with Memphis to win the conference tournament, only because it gives you a good hedging spot, because Memphis and Houston are clearly the 2 best teams. I think they're like about plus 500 right now. So if you do get a Memphis-Houston final, you have a nice little way to come back, and you can bet the Cougars. And if you got any spots that give you new win totals, bet the over on the Cavs and the Nuggets. Those are 2 things set up pretty good. I wouldn't even be surprised if the Cavs finish the season as the 1 seed in the East.
Ooh, well, there you go. Strong showing from Darius Garland yesterday, too, and got Evan Mobley, who's having a phenomenal Rookie of the Year type season. I like it. I think you're right, Corey, especially about the Cavs. Have a good one, man. We appreciate you.
All right, take care, y'all. Good times.
Good stuff from our guy, Corey Parsons. It's
the man.
Corey knows his stuff.
Oh yeah, man, for sure.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt about that. So jump on FanDuel, whatever, and do your thing with Corey. As we continue here, we'll wrap it up. We'll get back into that. We may touch on the Juwan Howard stuff. Want to get into the Chris Paul situation?
Now, don't touch me. Oh, my bad. It flashed me. My bad.
I know the instinct. I'm sorry, instinct. You can't control yourself. As we continue here, real sports talk, Sports 56 and 98.5.
You have opinions?
Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad.
We want to hear them. Call or text us on the AutoZone listener line at 360-8255. That's the AutoZone listener line at 901-360-8255.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors. When I talk to people about selling their homes or buying one, my motto is stick to your game plan. I learned this from my friend Coach Terry Tippett. Coach, you didn't go into a game without having a plan, did you?
No, Sheldon. Having a plan was critical to the success of all my teams.
That's right, Coach. Sticking to your game plan helped you win 4 state championships.
That's wrong, Sheldon. It was 6, just like the number of shots you make on a par 3.
Well, Coach, we've played golf together. What advice can you give me about my game?
You probably need to stick to real estate, as you're much better at doing that, or perhaps bowling.
Great advice about real estate, not bowling. And as I always tell people, if they're thinking of selling their home, talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers and let me be one of them. As they often say, when you want the job done, Coach, who should they call?
Sheldon, of course.
You can reach me at 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. That's 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com.
20,000 bonus points, 18.99% variable APR, and a $32 statement credit when you spend $200 before your dog's 8th birthday.
Credit card ads have all sorts of numbers, but they mean nothing to you if you don't get approved. So here's Credit Karma's number, 66. Like members who shop on Credit Karma get approved 66% more often than the national average. Now that's a number you can rely on. Credit Karma. Applied with Karma Confidence.
Member approval rates in 2021, 66% higher than 2020 CFPB national average.
Hey, Jeff Allen, the Kia President's Day sales event is sure to make all your customers happy at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah.
We are ready to make you smile. Check it out. 2022 Kia Forte LXS, we got it covered at $199 per month. And a 2022 Kia Soul LX, $219 a month. Both $27.99 due at signing.
Plus 2022 Kia Sorento LX, $308 a month, $34.99 due at signing, and all 36-month leases. And they all come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia Mount Moriah.
Ask for Jeff Allen, Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah, or KiaMountMoriah.com. All 36-month leases, $650 acquisition fee, $30,000 per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte, NE 456, $841, MSRP $21,090, Soul N78, $23,215, MSRP $21,515, Sorrento NG $104,027, MSRP $31,460. Includes all rebates and incentives, PF $695, must finance through KMF, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/28/22, dealer stock only.
The Family Leisure family is growing, and they want you to help them grow even more. Family Leisure is now hiring for multiple positions. They're looking for self-motivated, goal-oriented people to come and join their family. Some of the positions include sales for swimming pools, hot tubs, and patio furniture. There's sales and associates for chemicals. Parts and service department associates are needed. Service technicians, you got to have a valid driver's license, and cashiers are needed too. Family Leisure is also looking to add to their installation crews for building above-ground pools. Send your resume to Family Leisure now, 2120 Whitten Road, Memphis, Tennessee, 38133, or email memphis@familyleisure.com. You can also call 901-371-9090. So come and join the family at Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun and you all come together.
Now, back to Sports 56 Grind Time. This hour is brought to you by Poultry Power. Here once again are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sain.
Yeah.
Lego.
Oh, all right. Let me talk about this real fast because we've been having fun with the
Juwan Howard stuff.
This is why y'all listen to us. No show provides you the depth and interest level.
No show anywhere in the Dallas said you just can't walk up on a hood dude like that. Ain't nobody said that nowhere.
No, that's true. That's true.
Go ahead though. My bad.
I'm just saying. I just want to know. I'm glad you pointed that out. I want to point that out too. People need to, if somebody wants to disrespect our show, I might slap them.
That's worth it.
One of these other shows walks up on us, Anthony Sain, says something. That might
don't get him.
That might precipitate a slap right there.
Don't get it
because I got your back. That's what I'm saying. I got your back. People we joke about each other all the time. Me and Sain.
Mm-hmm. Well, if anybody walks through security to walk him on you, bro, I'm gonna slap him.
That's what I'm saying. It's just I got Sain never get it twisted. The Sain's my guy.
Yeah.
I appreciate
we may
y'all.
disagree on all sorts of different things.
I appreciate y'all not.
We
making
often
me the
disagree.
shooter.
We got entirely different everythings, but we bleed the same blood in so many ways, and that's the important thing. Let's never
shout out to Miss Carolyn for that. There you go. Smile.
She played
baby.
her part.
There you go.
She played her part. There's no question. She played her part. All right, so let me. I was talking to Corey about this, and we didn't get a chance to talk about it too much, but I want to get into it a little bit before we end the show. How weird was it last night? Amidst all the thing, Chris Paul, who's got a broken thumb,
6 to 8
he's
weeks.
out for 6 to 8 weeks. He's out there. He tries to play and does play. Plays for about 3 minutes in the midst of an All-Star game, one-handed, trying to get a quote honorary assist or something. Couldn't give up his spot to somebody else like Jaren Jackson Jr. or whoever, Anthony Edwards, somebody else that could have used that spot and would have really appreciated that time. Couldn't give that up. No, he had to get out there and dribble around for 2 minutes and narrowly avoid hurting himself further. For what? Is this man's ego this fragile? I thought that was such a weird. If I were the Suns, I'm like, what are you doing, man? You can't come out, you can't play for us, and you're going to do this. You're going to risk. I mean, what happens if somebody just accidentally just bumps in? I mean, it's you're out there playing. Anything could happen. I thought that was really bizarre and selfish and ridiculous.
Yeah, it was wild to see that, because when I first saw it, I was like, I'm a little. I had a little help from my friends when I was watching the game. I ain't had that much help. You know what I mean? I was like, what is Chris Paul doing? I was like, wondering, was I not seeing what I thought I was seeing? Because I was like, I know I just hit up the chums. Like, man, the Grizzlies about to come out of the West, man. Chris Paul's out 6 to 8 weeks. It's like, we're about to come out of the West.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big deal.
Then I'm looking at Chris Paul playing in the All-Star game. Like, this whole thing made me mad. Him, Rudy Gobert, all those dudes. Like, man, sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Let some of these other dudes get in.
I mean, Rudy's fine. Like, Rudy's fine. He was, they just didn't play much because no one wants to watch him play.
Mm-hmm.
But how about this, real quick, too? Your boy Fletcher down in New Orleans, sports anchor down there, fires off an email that the Pelicans have sent to their season ticket holders.
But no mention of?
And no mention of Zion Williamson at all, led by new head coach Willie Green and players Brandon Ingram, Jonas Valanciunas, and C.J. McCollum. The Pelicans are building something special.
Y'all know what's next.
Huh.
You know what's next?
Who came in here and said that Zion Williamson is going to take the qualifying offer? Who said that?
You're right.
Huh.
Hey,
That's interesting
I'm
right
not
there.
sure he's headed to New York, though.
Huh.
I can see another narrative that Nike might be trying to create. Not why not, but a certain says who narrative that Nike might be trying to put together. Hey, who knows?
Ja for MVP.
Thank God for Ja. That's all I can say.
Hey, the small town narrative could be South Carolina to Memphis. They could be creating a little thing here with Nike.
That's right.
Keep in mind what Zion fat ass is right now. Keep that in mind.
All right, we got to get out of here. Coming up next, Sports Time with our friend Brett and Gabe. Everybody, enjoy President's Day. We'll talk to you tomorrow and then the afternoon.